Hi, welcome to That Jazz Girl. Today I am here with my first ever makeup look video. I am so excited. I have been dying to make a video like this for so long. But of course I decided that it would be a nice idea to start simply. So I'm going to be showing you my everyday look that I have been wearing this particular season. So stick with me if you'd like to see me go through this particular makeup look. It's not really a tutorial. It's just kind of me showing the products that I use and the way that I put them on my face. But I had a lot of fun filming it and I hope that you have a lot of fun watching it. So here I am with my naked face, ready to start putting on my everyday makeup look for you. Anyway, I'm already holding the first product that I want to show for you, and that is this one here, which is just Natio Eye Contour Treatment Gel. It's just to kind of help lift the bags under my eyes, which is especially useful during winter and especially useful for me at the moment because I am currently working 13-hour days and not getting enough sleep to last. So this really helps to disguise the fact that I am just a sleep-deprived little moron. Once that's dry, I like to go in with my primer. The primer that I use is literally just primer that I get at Kmart. It's by a brand, I think the brand is just called 5A, and it's a little tube of color correcting primer. I don't know how much color correcting it actually does. I haven't really sort of looked to see how well it works, but it feels really nice on my skin and it really gives me quite a nice little glow underneath my makeup. I've just smudged that onto my hand and now I'm gonna put it all over my face. I basically just put that all over my face as if it was moisturizer. I'm not sure if that's how you're supposed to do primer, but I don't really care. Next up is concealer. I use this particular concealer by Thin Lizzy. At the moment, it's a little bit too dark for me because I bought it during summer and it's winter now, but it's all I've got, so I'm just kind of making do with it anyway. And I'm just gonna pop that under my eyes and on a couple of my blemishes. As you can see, I kind of like to sponge any excess concealer onto my actual eyelids as well, just because I tend to have quite dark eyes. My lids and my under eyes tend to end up quite shadowy, so I use that to lighten it up and provide a better base for the rest of my makeup. Next up, we're going to be using our foundation, of course. I use this foundation, which is the same brand as my primer. It's the 5A foundation, which actually matches my skin tone quite well, which is why I like it, and I'm just going to sponge that all over my face with my trusty makeup sponge. The final thing that I like to do for the base of my face before I start doing eyeshadow and all of that kind of stuff is I take this matte powder by Nude by Nature. It's an Australian makeup brand and I love it because it is environmentally friendly and like ethically friendly with no animal testing, and it tries to use natural products and more sustainable products and things like that. And then I will take this kabuki brush and just pat that all over my face, and I like to do that to help get rid of the shine. You can see that the makeup is quite shiny and this helps to kind of matte it down so I don't look oily or greasy. Now we are ready for eye makeup, but before I do any eyeshadow, I'm going to be using some eye primer, obviously. I use this primer by Nude by Nature. So I've just put a tiny bit of that on my eyelids, ready to help with my eyeshadow. And now we're on to the fun part. So the eyeshadow palette that I've been using the most this particular season is this one here by W7, apparently. And the colors are these really lovely, they're like natural nude colors, but as you can see, they're quite warm. They're all very pinky and peachy and these really nice warm nudes. So the colors that I've been using a lot lately are this one here, which is called Marilyn, this one here, which is called Alice, and the one next to it, which is called Bad Manners. So they're the three colors that I'll be using for my makeup look today, but as you will see, there's very little difference between all of them. It's just kind of ever so slight difference in light and shading. But I'm going to take this first one with just a plain flat brush and use that just all over my lid. So next up, I'm going to take the same brush and this next shade in, and I'm just going to be popping that on the outer sort of area of my eyes. Not much difference between the two shades of color, which is why I really like these shades at the moment because I think it makes for a very subtle makeup look. And now we're going to take that final darkest shade and just do the same thing again. And then the final thing that I usually like to do is I take this tiny little blotting brush, which is actually my favorite of all of my makeup brushes. And I'm going to take this very lightest shade here, which is called Latte, and I use that just along my brow bone just to help kind of define where the eyeshadow is and where it isn't. Next up, I'll do my liner and mascara. So the liner that I've been using at the moment is this one called Rimmel Glam Eyes. Simple liquid liner with a little brush applicator. I've always gone for these really thin liquid liners because I like to keep my liner as close to my lash line as possible, just to make it look like my eyelashes are darker rather than like I'm actually wearing eyeliner, and this is perfect for that. And the final step step for my eyes is to put on mascara, of course, to finish everything up. And the mascara that I've been using the most lately is this one here, which is another one that I bought at Kmart. But the reason why I've been in love with this mascara at the moment is because it's waterproof for like crying and sweating and just like day-to-day wear on your eyes, but it's still really easy to wash off even with just water as like a solvent in the shower. So that is why I have been absolutely loving this mascara, is because it stays on my eyes really well, but is also really easy to wash off. So the final thing that I usually do just to like polish up my eye makeup is I'll take more of this Nude by Nature foundation powder, and I'm going to take this flat brush and I'm going to use that to just kind of brush a little bit underneath my eyes and use that to kind of highlight my cheekbones and help sharpen the edges of the eye makeup on either side of my eyes. Ta-da! Like I said, this is my everyday makeup look, so I don't tend to spend a lot of time on my makeup just for an everyday thing. I don't go all out with contour or highlighter or lipstick or brows or anything like that. I tend to keep it quite simple. So the only final thing that I will do now is just to put a tiny bit of lip balm on my lips. I tend to just use this little coconut balm that I have here. I really love this coconut balm because it doesn't have any like petroleum oils and things like that in it that dry my lips out. So I'm just going to take a little blob of that and just put it on my lips. And that's it. This is literally all that I do for an everyday makeup look. I hope that you enjoyed this first ever makeup look video that I have ever made on this channel. I will leave all of the products that I use down below in the description. All of them are very cheap and very affordable because I am A makeup newbie, and B, a broke AF girl, so I do not have the money to be spending on decent quality makeup products. Let me know what your go-to look for the season is, whether you're in the Northern Hemisphere enjoying the summer or whether you're stuck in the cold and the winter with me. I'd love to know what you are loving this particular season. If you liked this video, please feel free to give it a thumbs up because it would mean the absolute world to me. And if you haven't already, subscribe so that you can see more of my face in your subscription feed. And I will see you in the next video.
Love me tender, love me sweet, never let me go. You have made